Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at these new personal alarms by Mosaic Alarm. This is the PA98CH. They're small but mighty and pack a punch. We're going to take a look at what's included, how to use it, some of the additional features and setups, and then at the end we're going to take a look at how you can use these in conjunction with the MH105 for some additional modularity and security functionality. Let's get right into it. So there's everything in the box. We got some in-depth instructions, our USB charge cord, you've got 2 carabiners, and then 4 lanyards are included, so we got a couple extras, and we'll look at how to attach this here shortly, but you could use one, the other, or both when attaching it to your alarms, and then we've got our 2 personal alarms. If we come in for a closer look on the alarm, really small, compact, easily fits into the palm of your hand and is easily concealed. You've got your pull pin right here that is going to set the alarm off. We've got a built-in LED down here that does a few different things besides flashing when it's going off. You can also use this as a flashlight. We'll talk about that shortly. On one side, you've got your USB port here. You can use that for recharging. Yes, on the opposite side is going to be your press button switch here that we can use for linking and using the flashlight itself. But overall, really nice small design. Got some built-in notches up here for an anti-slip design. So if you are pulling things apart, you can do that. At the very top, you'll notice that there's some really small holes right here where if you want to thread through one of the lanyards, you can do that. So let's talk about that first right now. So when it comes to basic use and attachment of the alarm, you can either keep it stock as is and then rip the pin out as needed, or if you want to use any of the carabiners or the lanyards, you can do so. The carabiner will snap on easily. You can attach this to a backpack, so all you have to do is rip away the main body to set the alarm off. On the opposite end, you could do the same thing and use this lanyard that's here and attach it to something else and then rip the key away, or you could have both of these attached to something and then figure out what works best for you for all of your protective needs. So if you plan on using this lanyard with the alarm, I'm going to show you how to thread this through and get that set up. On the very top part of the alarm right here, you're going to see there's a couple little holes right here. You're going to thread it underneath the plastic and then back out the other side. So just grab the lanyard here. The string here is very strong. You do want to fold it in half so it kind of pinches. It's going to make it easier to thread through the hole right there. So just give it a good little pinch and then maybe grab, I don't know, a 1/4 inch roughly like so right there, and then just push it in there to get it started. And hold it closely, and then it's going to go underneath, as you can see right here, to continue pushing, and then it'll pull right back up just like you see right here. And then all you have to do is put one end through the open hole of the loop just like that, and then you can pull it taut and it'll be on there nice and secure for you. So if we talk about some basic functionality, the alarms come paired right from the factory out of the box and are ready to go. We're going to take a look here in a minute at how to link and unlink them for different use scenarios. On one side here, you've got your USB port. One more time, if you ever need to recharge these, just plug in with a USB-C cable and it'll charge it right up. On the opposite side, you've got your mode button here. It does a few different things. Press it one time really quick and you're going to notice the LED turns on here so that you have a built-in flashlight. It is quite bright and it's never a bad thing to have a flashlight at any moment in time. When you want to turn it off, press it once, it turns back off. Now, these also offer a paging function, so you can call one alarm to the next. So this is attached to a person or an item, something that is lost or you're searching for. We're going to be able to call that up here. So you're going to hold the button for just a couple of seconds, and it's going to start this paging mode, and I'm going to be looking for wherever this alarm is, whatever or whoever it's attached to. Once I have found that person or thing, I press the button one time and it turns off the paging function. Likewise, the other pager can call the other one. Same deal here. And it starts this paging function. You find it. Once you found everything, press the button one time on the main unit that initiated the call, and everything turns off. Now, using the alarm is simple, straightforward, and very loud. And when one alarm is tripped or you pull the pin, it's actually going to send a signal to the other alarm while they're linked with a beeping action. So I'm going to show you that right now. And it doesn't matter which pin gets pulled, the other one will have a notification. So we're going to pull this out. It's going to be really loud, and then I'm going to muffle it with my hand and pull it away just so you can get an idea to see what happens on the receiving end of the other alarm. All right, here we go. Cover your ears. And so you can see how this one is beeping here, indicating that the main pin has been pulled from the other alarm. And then once we put the pin back in, this one is going to stop as well. Just like that. Now, one thing to note that's a nice thing about this feature here is when the pin is pulled, this alarm will continue to go off no matter what until the pin is reinserted. There is no way for the slave unit or the person who's receiving the signal and has been informed that the main unit is going off to turn this alarm off without putting the pin back in. So if you ever wanted to unlink the two alarms and put them into a single player mode so that they work independently, maybe because you want to have one for you, one for a friend or a family member, we can do that. What we're going to do is we're going to press the mode button here. It's going to beep. Then we're also going to plug in a USB cord to power, and that will put it into that single player mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to long press the mode button. You'll hear an initial beep. Then you'll plug in a USB cord into the side. You'll hear a second beep, and then that puts it into single player mode. There's the first beep. Plug it into power. You heard the second beep. Now I can release. Now I can pull this. Now what you'll notice is once I pull the pin on this, this alarm is going to go off, but the second alarm will not. See? And then just repeat the same process on the second alarm. Now, if we wanted to relink or pair the alarms back together, that's going to be simple and straightforward. We're going to hold the mode button on the side. It's going to beep. We're going to pull the pin out. Red light starts to flash. Do the exact same thing on the other unit within 60 seconds. Hold the button, beeps, pull the pin, and now they are both synced back up. Press the pin right back in on both units. Now they are both paired, and now we can test it out. And it's working. So let's talk about using the MH105 in conjunction with the personal alarm kit. So if you have this already or you're considering it, this can offer you some additional security functionality and modularity. On the back side of the unit is the pairing button right here. What we're going to do first is put the personal alarms into their pairing state first, press the button here, and then everything's going to be synced up. We're going to do this one at a time, so you're going to long press the button on the side just like we did previously. It's going to beep. We're going to pull the pin. This is going to put it into a pairing mode, and then we're going to come over here and long press this. That puts it into pairing. The two of them will sync up, and then I'm going to place the pin back in. And then repeat the process with the second alarm. Now that we got these paired, we can test it out. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to arm the MH105. When the alarm goes off, it will also set off these two alarms here. We have two options when it comes to disarming. If I disarm the MH105, all three alarms will stop making noise. Or I can independently turn these two alarms off, which do not control the MH105. This will still continue to go off and make noise until it is disarmed here at the control box or with its remote control. So here's option one. Disarming at the MH105 turns off all three alarms. And here is option number two. Hopefully that gives you a better idea and understanding of how this system can be worked together. So at the end of the day, these little alarms pack a punch with ear-piercing sound, a lot of functionality, and include that modularity should you want it or need it, whether it's independently with these alarms or with the MH105.